Welcome to the Concrete Podcast, where we bring together the people who design it, produce it, place it, and build with it every day. Our goal is simple: to unify the concrete industry by sharing real conversations about materials, methods, and the challenges we're all working to solve. From ready-mix producers, contractors, engineers, researchers, and innovators, this podcast is about learning from each other and pushing our industry forward. Hello, welcome back to an episode of the Concrete Podcast. I'm Joe Shutterly.
Good morning, I'm Joel Cookston.
And we are here today with one of my favorite people in the industry. And he's a ready-mix guy.
Uh-oh. You found a friend in the ready-mix industry.
So I'd like to welcome you today to Mr. Steve Crawford. Steve, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being brave enough to come on the Concrete Podcast.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's hard to find a ready-mix producer that wants to come on the show with us.
Right, yes.
I'm into the lines.
We'll be gentle.
Into the lines,
we'll be
Dan.
gentle.
So before we get started, I want to be a shout out to Speedway Concrete and Aggregate Supply up in Fort Wayne. They've been a great partner for E5, and just like to give a big shout out to them and continue doing the work you're doing. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, guys. Thank
So,
you, guys.
Let's get started.
Welcome.
Let's dive right in.
Boy, we have quite the history, right, Steve?
Shoot, how long has it been now? Is it 5, 6 years?
6 years.
Yeah.
6 years now?
6 years. Matter of fact, he was the first bridge deck that I met you guys on June 18, 2020. We're doing the first bridge pour with E5 internal cure. And that's where I got introduced to Speedway and Steve and Dan McCoy and all of them.
Yep.
That was the
good
group
group
up
of people.
in Fort Wayne that kind of started pushing this technology forward
Yes, sir.
in the industry.
What did you think at that point, Steve? Were you thinking, what is this crazy group doing in central Indiana? I mean, did you, were you hesitant?
Well, that goes back, shoot, our buddy Chris, he's been, he approached me several times.
Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, Mr. Wolf.
Oh, Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf, he's like, yeah, you got to check this out. And, he's like, he gives me a piece of literature that's got a whole list that improves this, decreases that, your typical sales literature
Right.
of some admix company. It's like, okay.
But Chris probably created it because I've seen enough of his PowerPoints.
I mean, it was a whole page
Yes.
of can do, and it's like, okay.
Very detailed.
It's like, it all sounded good, but to what degree did it actually reduce or increase or whatever, and how do you measure it? That was the biggest hurdle for me. And it's like, yeah.
Should I believe this guy?
Yeah. Does it, 1-2% over here, 10% over here? Yeah. There was really no way to really truly measure it, because we're all stuck on, PSI and, volume and PSI,
We need to have a little
that's
dinger
measurable.
when he says PSI.
PSA.
That's measurable.
Measurable.
Yeah, what's measurable?
Yes, absolutely.
Air slump yield and PSI. Yeah.
I do want to set the background for the audience
Uh-huh.
on how you got into the concrete industry. Just a little background on yourself.
That.
How far back do we want to go,
far
Steve?
back?
I don't know if I want to remember it.
Can I remember?
You served in the military,
Yes.
so thank you
Yes.
for your
Appreciate
service.
you. Yes, sir.
And all you
Yes.
military people out there, thank you for your service.
Yeah, and that was with the Army engineers as an engineer officer, which is basically like a project manager in military, except we built bridges, but we knew how to blow them up too.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah,
Nice skills to
that's how I
have.
give Dan a hard time. Yeah, it took you all summer to build that bridge, but I could take it down in 4 hours.
Concrete's not that durable.
Yeah. So, how did that translate? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
So when you got out of the service, what was your first job?
It was. When we moved to Illinois, it's like, hey, wife had a job opportunity. It's like, oh, yeah, we can go there. I could always drive truck, right? I got a CDL. I can do anything. That went off the rails quick.
No, it's all good.
It's good.
So you went to Illinois.
Yeah, so went to Illinois.
Yep.
Got in the trucking industry where, anything from cattle to hazardous waste and, our own
Big rig
company.
type stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. and then worked in recruiting and safety for another company, and operations for another one. And we, a lot of these were growing companies too. The one, safety and recruiting, went from 80 to 200 trucks in two years.
Oh my Lord. Okay.
So it's easy to maintain a fleet, but every 2 weeks we had 10 new trucks showing up. So you're growing the fleet at the same time. So it's like
nightmare.
It was
Lot to handle.
it was interesting.
So you did that for how long? A couple years?
A couple years, and then I had an opportunity to take my own equipment and join with another guy, and we went from 5 trucks to 20 trucks on our own. Plus,
so
plus
you started your own?
Plus brokerage.
Okay.
And then on my own too. So, and then there's really no money in trucking.
Well, I mean, now there is. Oh my God.
And now there may be. Well,
prices.
there's also exorbitant costs now too.
Yeah,
so the margin's still the same.
True.
So I had an opportunity to get out. I got out of the equipment, and then one of my customers was like, "Hey, just come to work for us." Well, they were a precast company. And it's like, okay, go to work for them. They're just down the street.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you know anything about precast at that point?
Well, I've been hauling aggregates into them and then finished material out
right.
for a couple of years as it was. And so I kind of knew a little bit about their business. And they're like, hey, yeah, come to work for us. And, sort of driving. It's like, hey, we want to become MPCA certified. National Precast Concrete Association, have their plant certification. And it's like, we want you to be in charge of it. Okay.
Sure. No problem.
Off we go.
Is there a book I need to read? Or
Well, yeah, there's some stuff to read. To get, there's a steep learning curve. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Steep learning curve. Yeah. Some of it was self-taught, some of it was some of the courses that MPCA offered themselves. So, grabbed it and ran with it. So we got them certified, and we're off and running.
Right. That's good.
And that's a little bit different and it's probably a little more stressful than ready mix, believe it or not.
Really?
Because you're not just looking at production schedules and not just concrete, but it's all, hey, fabrication of wire, maintenance of forms and everything else. Because everything we did, the tolerance had to be set in the form work. So as you stack those elements up, you didn't start to, you go off a 1/4 inch on one side to the other. You start everything
Starts
leaning there. By the time you get 7 tier up, you're off 1 1/4 inch already, and you could see it.
Okay. Huh.
And the granite guys will not be happy with that because they got to put the granite faces on everything, and it better line up.
Extremely strict tolerances.
Yeah, so you get pretty strict tolerances in that, and.
So you said more difficult than the concrete industry,
Right? Because it's always same. It's like you get tunnel vision big time in precast, doing the same thing over and over again. Trying to meet the different demands of schedules and lining your formwork up to have the right number of pieces and everything else, and get trucks loaded out. I mean, you're doing everything. It's not just concrete.
Yeah. No, but then. Here comes the complexities of concrete going in that nice form.
Yeah.
And if that's not right and doesn't hit your strength where you're wanting to get those forms stripped.
Oh, yeah. Twice a day. You talk about turning stuff over quick. 5 hours, turn a form, boom, pour it again, and get ready to go for the next day.
So precast, low water cement ratios.
Yes.
A lot of super.
Well, at first, they weren't using any of that at the beginning.
Really?
No, they were using the old traditional, traditional mud, and the vibrators would just sit there just hammering away.
Just basic concrete, no
basic
additives.
Concrete.
Interesting.
So you
just
kind
a
of
little bit of an additive, just a little water is like the old HE 122 or 122 HE, whatever it's called. Little water reducer with basically calcium chloride. That was the admix.
Okay.
It'd go quick.
Extremely quick.
But
you needed to go quick to pull forms.
But they're trying to place it, and then the bucket's in there and it's swinging back and forth trying to fill it in correctly, and and that vibrator is just a hammering away, breaking welds and everything else.
So in that setting,
And
what were issues with concrete then?
It was more appearance. We were very more appearance driven than anything because that leading edge is what everybody's seen.
Okay.
Because but basically it was in the death care
Strength
industry
wasn't an issue.
doing mausoleums, precast mausoleum pieces, and then
So high
burial
aesthetic.
vaults.
Yeah.
So a lot of it was very visual on the fronts. So trying to eliminate bug holes and everything else, and then
Without chemicals. Wow.
yeah, and it's like, okay. And then I say, hey, what's this SCC stuff? That was the big buzzword back then.
Yeah.
No, not very many people were doing it yet. So it's like, and then of course the old guy in the plant's like, oh, that'll never work. Everybody bringing snake oil through here trying to get us to use it and stuff. And it's
You
like,
actually experienced some of that.
oh yeah.
Gee.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like it's generational.
Something new coming in, and that ain't
It's
gonna
like,
work.
no, it's not going to work.
kind of what we're facing
we
right
tried
now.
that before.
And then
We
fast
tried that
forward
before.
10, 20 years from there.
It's like,
the
well,
norm.
no, you haven't tried this before. This is, U.S. is always 7 years behind all the other countries. It seems like, so it's something's coming in from Japan that they've used and developed over there. So by the time we got things dialed in, it's like everything was quiet. You could carry on conversation, and that bucket, you're filling that form up, and she's just flowing right around, and it's not swinging back and forth, forward and backwards, trying to get that form just filled up just right, So it's like
Made it a little easier.
products started looking better. Things were quieter,
Yeah.
a little safer. The way the bucket's not flying back and forth or swinging back and forth with the crane. 'Cause,
Now, how long did that take in your background to kind of come to fruition? So with that new admixture coming in,
SEC, how did that adoption?
what was that
How long did it
timeline
take?
like?
Yeah.
I mean, there was obviously pushback. No, we've got a system.
trying to get it to work, get it dialed in with the materials that we had, and then use up what we had in inventory, and then bring that in and convince the owners that to go that route. It probably took a good 3-4 months.
Oh, that seems short.
Yeah.
That seems really short for a new
Well,
technology.
we've been working on this for 9 years. Wow.
We are not doing very well. No. Woo! It is tough to turn a large boat on the ocean.
For sure.
And then, strengths came up a little bit too, but a lot of it was the appearance of the product. And it's not just the admix part of it. A lot of it was how we oiled the forms and everything else. Everybody's got there with their sprayers, spraying the forms, so oil them up. And, hey, if you don't see it, it doesn't exist. And by the time you see it, it's too much.
So what you guys ended up doing, it was a whole system. You had to have the whole system complete for it to work. It just wasn't the concrete's responsibility to make perfect concrete. It was everything else.
Right.
AKA is what's wrong with our industry today. They think the concrete's going to fix everything, and it still takes everybody,
All the variables.
Right.
Yep.
contractors, and everybody do their part for the concrete to actually
Yeah.
work, function.
And
Perform.
everybody looks
Yeah.
at concrete as an 8-hour stint where, hey, show up, hey, place it, finish it,
Or replace it. Yeah.
whatever the finishing is, whether broom or machine finish, whatever.
And you're done.
And you're done. You move on, click the check, off you go. There's actually systems engineering in everything we do, but nobody looks at concrete as a system.
I agree with that 100%.
Systems engineering. I like that phrase.
There's a reason why, you're doing soil samples before you even start the project. You know? What's underneath there? It's like from the ground up. And not just that day of, it's like what's happening over the next 40 years too, is how are you maintaining that? But, everybody looks at that
Singular thing.
Hey,
Yeah.
what benefits me at that moment in time, and off
Move
they
on.
go.
And
Move on.
off I'm going.
Off you go.
So when your stint with precast was done, did it move straight into the ready mix from there?
Yes.
Okay.
We ended up moving over here to Indiana because they opened another plant over here, and then I was able to get another plant certified also with MPCA, and they did more wastewater structures, stormwater structures, and stuff like that. So
So you started to find your niche in the
it's
concrete.
like, it's like, what did I get myself into?
Still ask yourself that, don't
I
you?
still ask myself something. Is it too late to change career or something? No.
You know too much at this point.
So the first producer you started working with, obviously in your local area, Fort Wayne,
Well, actually in Illinois.
Illinois.
Yeah.
But then you
And then
moved over here.
Yeah, they started another facility over here north of Fort Wayne.
and then you left them and went straight right into the ready mix. Was it straight into a quality control job?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you started with them, and then back then, give me how many years ago was that when you first started with the ready mix? We talking 20 plus?
Yes.
Okay, so
Pre 2000.
So with the concrete
Or
then
Yeah,
that you were dealing with then, and I want the artist to hear from you, the problems you had back then were what? Like 20 years ago. I mean, what were the problems?
Pretty much the same problems we have today.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've been told, I don't know how many times, I wish I had $1 for every time I heard it, that weather has nothing to do with it.
It is not the variable we have to
It's
be
like, well, then why aren't you pouring today when it's raining?
Uh-huh. Right.
Oh, you can't pour in the rain. Well, you said weather has nothing to do with it.
Weather has everything to do with concrete. It is everything to do with concrete.
So find the weather variables.
Yeah. It's like, well, we did 2 driveways today. The first one this morning went great, but the one this afternoon, something changed. What did you do different? It's like, I didn't do anything different.
Right.
Yeah, that big thing in the sky did.
Yeah.
That big yellow gas ball is changing things on us.
Yeah. And people don't understand the evaporation rates of concrete.
No.
And I think that target has even moved a little bit in the last few years too. The bleed rate, the evaporation rate is exceeding the bleed rates because everything's kind of slowed down a little bit in that area. Mm-hmm. Everything's demanding water anymore,
A lot
more.
Yep.
Yeah, a little more. We just need to make water more efficient.
Well,
We
it
need to
gets
make
in
our
back
water
to
more
that, we have a higher water demand in our material,
Right.
but we don't talk about water efficiency. Like,
Right.
how are we making the
two different things
Two
going
different
here.
things going on. When my nephew was at the last DOT meetings, and that certain person that I always mention but not mentioning
Sure.
my name's
Right.
up there,
Right.
my
We don't.
nephew asked that question to him. Well, yeah, we have a higher water demand, but what about water sensitivity? He didn't have an answer for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't understand it. They don't understand the complexities with the weather and everything we have outside, and how different the water behaves versus in a lab. The water behaves a whole lot different out in the field. I mean, me and Steve had many of these conversations about water to control the evaporation rates, this and that. It's the most uneducated part of our industry is evaporation and bleed rates, because that leads to timing of when we need to start
That window.
finishing. Because sometimes if we don't understand that, we do something we don't understand. On his phone's ringing because, hey, what's wrong with your concrete? Mm-hmm. Not necessarily it's that. It's
Not necessarily the mud.
we don't understand this.
Right, the timing.
And water sensitivity is a new thing I've been kind of looking into. Like, we put this much water in, how sensitive is the material to that little bit of water change? And I would say it's very sensitive now with the increase of limestone.
Yeah, so like 10, 20 years ago, you weren't as worried about the water cement ratio, holding back water, adding too much water. I mean, was there still that kind of battle with the contractor that says, hey, I want it?
Oh, they want to bleed water. They want to bleed water all the time.
Right.
Well, it makes it easy. It makes it easier for
And
them.
why does it make it easy?
And they want
why
the
does bleed
path
water
of
make it
least
easy?
Interest. It's a lubricant to the surface.
There you go.
Now, that gets put back into the surface, and I've had the classic example of 2 driveways side by side, 6 bag, both of them pouring 6.5 inch slump, which at that time we're probably darn close to a 0.58, 0.63 water cement ratio.
Yeah.
Great.
Because it's straight bag mixes. One guy float it 3 times, broom it, seal it, walk away. The other guy, he's still floating the doggone stuff.
Couldn't get it
It's
closed
like,
up.
oh no, it's
It's
closed
going
up.
He just got
He's just get every little line out of there, make it look perfect. It's like that's what the broom's for.
right.
You get it down. The less you touch it, the better. It says I'll be there in 2 years looking at that driveway. Sure enough,
Because
they played with it too much. I mean, everybody tries to make it look perfect, but you don't need to make it look perfect. You just got to get
some
it.
applications, right? Yeah, where you're
Perfect
doing
subjective in concrete industry.
Yeah,
what you
it's
think
subjective.
perfect is not really perfect
Yeah.
because there's always some imperfection in it regardless.
Yeah.
And to what he's saying is, you get a higher bleed mixes that bleed. Well, finishers like that because they get the surface tension break underneath their floats and they don't have to worry. Problem of it is it's detrimental because unless you let that bleed rate evaporate off enough and then float it in, you're just encapsulating it underneath the surface.
You're working it
and
in
then he's visiting you in a year going, why is it scaling?
Yeah.
See, I've been preaching this, and I just told this guy yesterday when we went and looked up a driveway, and I said, timing's everything right now with our concrete. Our cements are changing, our chemistries are changing, so we have to change our timing of when we do this. We don't see as much bleed water because of the fines and the limestone, so that's kind of scary.
So that makes people, get on it faster?
Well, our minds have been trained for, the last 5 decades that once we've seen the bleed water start to evaporate out, we're ready to start finishing. Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't see the bleed water, it's always a guessing game now. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy.
Is it going to get away from me?
You get a little panicky, like, what's going on? To be honest, bleed on a good mix is a sheen across the surface. It's not water droplets and it looks like a lake you're getting ready to ski across.
Right.
It literally's got a sheen across it, and it's like, all right, I can see the sheen, and when that sheen starts to dull down, now we can go to finish. And that's the detrimental part of
bleed
limestone
bleed,
now.
Yeah.
I mean, because they don't know. We don't understand the evaporation of that 1L. Mm-hmm. So then his phones are ringing off the hook because of timing.
Right. And especially if it's an afternoon pour and that sheen's going away as fast as it's coming up. You can just see it dissipate. Yeah. And it's like, oh, crap.
So as you move from the precast industry into Speedway, right, became the QC. This was, let's just call it 20 plus years ago. You've seen a lot of changes in the market, right? We had another gentleman on, Jim Render, Chris Wolf, right? These guys that are seasoned professionals in the concrete industry, very experienced. Yeah, not old.
There's a lot of years of people,
right? And they've seen the evolution of new admixtures coming to market, new materials coming to market. Just briefly, what has been some positives that you've seen help the industry? Maybe some setbacks that have challenged the industry? I mean, anything that you can speak to on that front?
There's been a lot of develops in admixtures, yes. Some of them for the good. The setbacks have been more EPA driven, and it usually depends on who's in charge at the time.
Who's in the Oval Office?
Yeah. It hasn't been just this last 6 years. It's been, we could say the Obama administration that you've seen some big changes come through then too with the EPA, and as far as emissions and everything else goes, and that changed things up, and especially in your fly ashes, right, and even in the cements, there's some changes there.
A lot of changes. So,
changes there.
Anything that you can look back and say, this was actually, it was hard to adopt. It was slow to adopt, but it really did do a lot of good for the ready mix provider, right? I mean, did anything specifically that you can think of, this thing, man, it really helped us out in the field. This chemical, this material.
Yeah. Which one?
Right.
Well, it depends on the application. Yeah. Get you the engineer answer. Yeah. It depends.
It depends.
Yeah. It depends.
It does. It
depends on the situation.
Yeah. It depends on the scenario situation.
Right,
the polycarboxylates have been positive. There's just that they can make so many different ones that, they're trying to condense it down to, hey, let's fit the 95th percentile, even though you can.
A blanket solution that doesn't.
Yeah, try to make blanket solutions where you can actually design, hey, we can give you, great spread, 15 minutes pot life, set and go, or we can slow it down or whatever. But, it depends if precast or ready mix, but they're trying to make one admix do it all. Well, that doesn't really work.
Too many variables.
What works in the Midwest might not work in the Arizona, Texas.
Sure. Sure.
And we had a couple of our sales reps. They spend a week in our yard just testing everything. Every different admixtures. They were testing set time strengths and everything, helpful. And they did that across the country at the time. And somehow they were able to whittle their SKU numbers down to 6 somehow. But
by doing all this testing across the country,
because you had different cements and everything else, and then
eggs,
eggs, and all that fun stuff. So,
right.
So at least they did the work for it. I mean, you got some people that just are, hey, we can make whatever you want. We're just blenders. That's all they are. They're just blending stuff.
Right.
Versus doing the R&D,
Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit. Big companies maybe not going to the lengths that we have with the R&D route, with new materials, new admixtures, just kind of throwing it out there and saying, hey, we've seen this work really well in the lab. We're a big company. This will work for you.
Well, the big companies are the ones actually probably doing the work, whether it be the Sikas, the BASFs,
Right.
those guys, they're actually doing the R&D. And some of the little guys are trying to copy it.
Sure.
Same
as,
hey, just give me a sample. I'll run it through my spectrography and we'll make whatever you need. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that before.
Here you go. Try that. It
We've
works.
seen that with form oil. Hey, let me have your form oil. We can copy that. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then everything sticks. Right. Yeah.
What do you think's been the biggest challenge that the industry has faced?
In 20 years, not just recent.
Not just recent. Just
it could be recent.
Years.
It could be recent, but
it's not a challenge. It's just like that's setting us back. Like we're not moving.
We
forward.
don't know enough about this thing.
Yeah, that's a big question too.
It is, Steve.
And I'm not putting you on the spot, by the way.
So you're very.
But I mean, there is challenges.
It's
There's industries that set stuff out there, whether they intended for good or bad. They set it out there with an intention. Oh, this is going to be good for the industry. But then you go, oh, we didn't think about all that, or all these possibilities, and that has set us back.
I mean, we got to where we figured things out, and then you get comfortable, and then all of a sudden something changed. It's like, what changed?
You never get an answer for it.
You don't get an answer. It's like, okay, we standardize our grinding aids throughout the industry or throughout the company because then they get a better rate. Well, does that one grinding aid work for every cement plant?
Right.
Yeah, the thing of it is, it's not
price-wise-
whether it's not whether chemicals work in concrete. It's whether does that chemical work in that geographical area of where it is being placed.
Right.
Because as we have seen just in our state, from one end to the next, we have a huge geographical area here that concrete don't perform up here north as it does in the south.
Right.
So does it mean all those chemicals can be, I'll just use this and this. It's all the same. No, it doesn't work that way. I talk to finishers, well, I finished concrete up in South Bend, and I went to Louisville, and we wanted the same mix from the same company. It just didn't perform the same. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah, I always get that. Hey, we want this mix design that we've used forever over here. It's like, that doesn't always work.
No.
It doesn't always work.
But they
way.
think, hey, it works so well over here.
Yeah,
so
well, the proportioning,
change it?
and then they always want to go by weights. It's like, don't worry about that proportioning by weight. Let's look at the proportioning by volume. That's really key because our materials are different specific gravities, for example. I got a different admix package than you have, but this, it's similar to what you have. The dosage rate might be different because one might be more potent than the other or watered down than the other, whatever it may be, but we can get it close. Then you get the different cement, so then your set times might vary a little bit too. So back to the timing thing again.
Goes right back to time.
People like what they're used to, but you start moving out of your area, things are going to change.
Yeah, so like when I was younger, I remember cutting my teeth on what was called the old Lone Star cement here. We called it blister mix because that's exactly what it'd give you. It didn't waste any time setting.
There's a hot mix.
I don't care if it's 50 degrees or not. That stuff just went. So when you cut your teeth on that type of mix, and then I would go up to northern part of the state, and we'd use S-Rock. Well, it was like a turtle crossing a road. And you're like, what in the world is going on?
What am I doing wrong?
Like, what happened to the mix? And I remember having them phone calls. Man, what did you guys do? Well, there's nothing different. I'm like, oh, yeah, there's something different. I'm putting 2% calcium in an 80-degree day because it's not setting because I'm used to Lone Star down here going, boom. That's when I started to realize cement's not
materials
cement,
are different.
And it is different. And, I think the industry needs more education on, hey, don't expect the same concrete in Indianapolis to be the same concrete in Fort Wayne or the same concrete in Indianapolis to be the same concrete in El Paso, Texas.
Right.
It's not going to be the same, period.
No.
It's all different. So finishers need, including myself, I didn't realize it until I got a little older and realized that, you know what, we're dealing with a very complex system of concrete. Like, we need to really understand all of our materials are going in it to know how to handle and finish.
Right, and it takes both parties to understand that, right?
I mean,
the
when
contractor,
absolutely. When I got on this side and I started getting into the admixtures and pushing, I went back to the ready mix producers I did work for, and I apologized to them. Imagine that. And I did tell him, I said, I have to apologize for some of the way that I acted or did back then because I didn't understand the complexity of what this is. To deliver a yard of concrete to a job site is more complex than people know. It's not just as, hey, just throw it in there and we go. I mean, it's very complex. And especially when a contractor will go, hey, we need to push that back an hour. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So explain to Steve when a contractor pushes it back an hour, what that does to the conveyor belt, to the whole system. Right. Like, they don't understand that.
That's got to throw a wrench in the daily plan. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I wish some of the customers would spend a day in dispatch. That'd be enlightening.
Right.
Absolutely.
Weather delays, project delays, timing delays, right? Setting all that up.
Yeah.
And then they're yelling at you because, why can't you push it back an hour?
It'll start with the first order of the day. I can have a plan the night before. Hey, this is where my technicians are going to go and everything else. But by 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, that plan's out the window. A lot of times you start the morning off with a commercial job or whatever, or
get something
consistent. Couple of home builders going, and hey, the first guy, hey, I want 2 trucks. Well, he ends up being 3 trucks, 4 trucks. That just took 2 trucks from the next order, and you just creating a snowball effect. And hopefully, by a good day is when you get down to yards remaining is 0, and everybody goes home safely. That's a good day.
That's a good day.
It's a good day.
But like an airport, right? If you get delayed in the beginning of the day, your whole day is kind of just pushed.
I mean, some of your guys at the beginning can create a snowball for the rest of the day. And
and then you have to manage those emotions.
And then they wonder, hey, where's my truck? Well, your buddy down the street screwed you.
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't the ready-mix guy screwed you. It was the beginning of the conveyor belt. Like, hey, this guy stopped in. Hey, we're all human. It's going to happen. And I always like being the first order of the day because I'm going to get my stuff in, out, and done because I knew what was going to happen if I placed it 10 o'clock. If I placed it 10 o'clock and the ready-mix producer's already been up pouring since 4 a.m., there's a chance that he's going to be behind
you're gonna
the
be
8 ball.
You're going to be behind by 10, 11 o'clock in the day.
George, the concrete finisher over here, might have had 2 guys not show up. Wasn't his fault. They just didn't show up. And he has to take an hour longer to pour up. Like you said, backs those trucks up. And then it just keeps on going. That's where it's hard for finishers to put their, they're only worried about the job they're on.
Right.
That's all they need to worry about.
They're not looking at the
looking out and going,
scope of your day.
What is a ready-mix producer going through? He's trying to be the best he can at all times. But then he's dealing with not just one of you. He's dealing with 50 of these individuals that sometimes don't have the best work ethic as some people, and then you guys got to pay for all the phone calls.
Or aren't as patient.
They're not patient.
No, nobody's going to be patient.
No, everybody's worried about themselves.
Oh,
I mean, that's
just call what it is. It's what they do.
And the worst thing one of our dispatchers, we got a big pour in the morning. It's like they don't care about that big pour in the morning. They want to get their time slot.
They want their job done,
and they want it there and on time. If you can't make it there in and on time, that phone call is
that communication line
is awesome to say, hey, okay, you guys can get something else formed up in the meantime. They keep their guys busy. They don't want to be standing around waiting.
Okay, so you just said something that's
money going out of their pocket.
Oh, it's what I loved about the ready-mix producer I partnered with all the time. If they got behind, you can guarantee you I got a phone call. And they'd say, Joe, this is where it's at. This is what I'm doing. I'm just giving you a heads up.
Plan accordingly.
Can you do something else? What can we do? Blah, blah. Try to work it out.
Right.
Well, man, as a customer on that end, it makes you feel like, hey, these guys are worried about whether I get done. Okay, no problem. I'm going to do this. Let me know if you need anything else. I'd have to shift around. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. Yeah, but what are you going to do?
But it's managing expectations.
But I want to maintain the communication lines with my partner, the ready-mix guy, so that we can have success to give the owner what he needs at all times. I think as the concrete industry, the ready-mix producers have got bigger and bigger and bigger, they lost sight of the customer. They just lose sight of them, and they just treat them as a corporate number. How many yards are we getting out of that customer this year? Well, you might not get none if you don't treat them right.
Right.
So finishers and ready-mix have to partner to each other. And if you don't have a very good ready-mix partner and he's not listening to you, I'd start shopping for a new one because without both of you working together.
Yeah, and unless that's the sole producer in your area, then you just have to work with them.
There's always ways out of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm there. No, there's always ways around it.
Dispatch also needs to ask the right questions too.
Absolutely.
It's like, hey,
I agree with that.
I want 2 trucks 8 o'clock. And so, well, 8 o'clock's full, but hey, can you do 10, 11, 1? Give you a choice. That's all it really takes.
Right.
I mean, it's just the way you ask the questions.
The ready mix producer I used to deal with, he'd go, Joe, will you get your lights? Like, can you start earlier? Can you start an hour earlier?
Or the opposite. Can you go earlier?
And I'd be like, you're buying a light? Dude, bring them out. I'll start early and get my day done. But,
Now things are that's one of the things that has changed over the time is that 1 o'clock pour, those 4 o'clock pours have kind of gone away and trying to get people to show up.
Midday pours or early morning pours?
Early morning
ones, man.
Trying to get people, their crews to show up and or hey,
because the day before
need 10 drivers, so you better call in 12 because 2 of them are going to call in sick.
Yeah,
it's not easy getting people in the morning at 1, 2, 3 a.m. to start pours,
especially based on
the day before. And it's been hot. And
I don't like it either, but and we've had that discussion with some of these bridge deck pours. It's like, let's go back to pouring them out and get them placed before the sun comes up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially with materials these days.
Oh, but
set yourself up for success.
Weather doesn't matter.
I know.
Weather doesn't matter.
That's going to be the title of the podcast. Weather does not matter with concrete.
But, that's that planning to help set you up for success, Can you get that deck done in place without having to compete for trucks?
Traffic.
Have to compete with traffic, weather. Oh, there's that weather again.
Yep, there's that weather again.
Here we go.
I mean, it is. It's dependent. I mean, all my big pours I'd make sure the ready mix supplier, had what he needed. I had what I needed. I was set and I was ready because I didn't like starting anything any earlier than 3 because you're just asking for trouble when you start at 1 a.m. You're just asking for trouble.
Right.
You get that 3, 4 o'clock. Okay, boom, let's get it in. You get down. Let's move forward. Because I like to have stuff down by 7 a.m., 7:30. We're good to go. Because if I'm finishing as the sun's coming up is a whole lot different than me placing and finishing. All different.
As that temperature change.
Totally different. I mean, after, learning from Steve and learning from the bridge contractors that I've got to deal with, I've learned a lot from them. And some of the things always goes back to timing. It's always timing with concrete. I hated seeing pours go into 10 a.m., 11 on. It's like, the heat of the day. Things are fighting it. You could just see the slump start to tighten up, and the contractors are going, "What'd you guys do to the mud? What'd you do?" We really haven't done anything. I mean, it's still the same.
Timing.
It's the weather.
Yeah,
it's changing.
Right.
So we preach education. Joe says that a lot. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. And so. My question to you, Steve, is, from a ready mix perspective, QC guy, sales guy out in the field, how much do these guys need to know? Do they need to be experts in the chemical field now to then have their portfolio of admixtures, their portfolio of SEMs and cements that are in y'all's company, your portfolio of offerings? Do they need to know basically everything to be a mad scientist? So when the contractor's like, it's too sticky, it's tearing, I mean, you've got to adjust.
Right.
So these guys have to be quite knowledgeable, I assume.
I guess I'd be the one that's stuck with the hat of the mad scientist.
The one guy. Yes, the one guy.
Yeah.
So there's typically the one guy.
Now, the contractor in the field, he needs to know to have the right tools for the job. And a lot of these guys do not have the right tools for the job, unfortunately.
Physical tools?
Physical tools was a big one.
Okay,
right. A lot of them didn't have fiber strikes, soft cuts, a lot of this stuff. Finishing aids.
Tools of the trade, yep.
They don't even carry that with them. It's like, that's a tool that you need to carry with you at all times. Hopefully you don't have to use it, but when you do, it's there. You're not scrambling. Hey, can you run me out a bucket? Well, by then it's too late. It's too late. So having the right tools to do the job is a big one.
Sufficient manpower.
And the right manpower.
Because if you don't have sufficient manpower, you will get behind.
Right.
Especially when you're pouring 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12, 2, and sun's hot and everything. You're trying to pour a concrete application. It should take 6 people and you're trying to do it 2.
Yeah, and that's something that's changed over the last few years too. Is some of these crews got smaller,
really small.
Lean and mean, trying to make more money, probably.
No, they've had some people age out and haven't been able to
True.
replace them. It's probably the biggest headache right there. Aged out and trying to replace it, and now you're down to 3, 4, 5 guys. If you're lucky, they got 5 guys. Commercial jobs, they might have way too many. 20 guys, and 4 of them are doing the work.
Yeah.
It's just bodies sitting out
8
there.
are managing.
And then you got a plumber and a carpenter standing around watching. Make sure nothing gets knocked out of whack. But, it's one extreme to the other.
So most of the technical side of the business falls on what you would suggest as the QC guy at the ready mix facility, not necessarily your sales reps that are out on the job sites. Maybe they're relaying that information to you. When pot life kind of, we talked about pot life and there
I do a lot of times.
Water reducers, cement blade fineness, water, bleed, basically your field guys are relaying this to you and you're compensating appropriately.
This where, if we're on the basically back up a little bit. Yeah, the day before I kind of do a risk analysis of what the jobs are for the next day, and that's how I assign my people.
All right.
Hey, the higher the risk, hey, you're going out to that one, whether it be bridge, commercial, whatever. But then still try to, somewhere during the day, try to keep track of your everyday mix too, A lot of the jobs will go smoother just by being there, even though we might not be doing anything or look like we're doing anything.
Yeah.
It's that phone call back to the plant. Hey, pick up the pace, slow down the pace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Timing of the trucks is key too. And that's the hardest. And it's also the hardest thing to do in ready mix. We cannot, once that schedule's set, we cannot speed it up. And you don't want to slow down. So you got to get that timing right off the get-go so that, hey, you got trucks pulling in as somebody's getting backed out. That's perfect. You don't need 15 trucks lined up.
No.
That's not good either.
No.
Everybody's like, yeah, okay, I got trucks here.
that is
So
not good.
I can guarantee you as you go down that line, that strength's going to go down with it.
Correct.
Because they're sitting
slump
there
or,
tempering
whatever.
it, tempering it.
Just to what he said, you've got a 15 trucks backed up. That truck might not be up there for 45 minutes to an hour. Then you got all that reactivity going on and all the thermal properties
Hot
are
lights.
moving. Then you bring it up. Water reducers only last so long.
Yeah, and then it screws the guy in the finishing machine.
Absolutely.
He's trying to finish, and then he's got to hurry up, catch up. And okay, now it's back to slow down normal again. So it's like, how do you cover that ground?
That's a rhythm.
I think sometimes we're trying.
I mean, it's timing from when that water hits that cement particles.
I think sometimes they're trying to solve a problem. It's not really a problem. It's just the nature of the business. It's just the nature of the business. And sometimes you get it right. Sometimes you get it wrong. At the end of the day, I'm not saying ready mix concrete is always perfect 100% of the time because none of us are, and concrete finishers are not perfect all the one time. You guys have your problems no different than we have our problems. I think the main thing is each other has to give each other grace. Because getting mad over something doesn't do anything on the job site or to the people you're working with, but put a defense mechanism up. So at the end of the day, it's just being cordial to one another. And that it'll turn around. But sometimes you start to bring the negative energy and all that and blaming each other does one thing. It just makes everybody stop.
Turns everything south.
It just turns everything to crap.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate. I mean, I really, really, really got to work with some good people that just cared about what we did.
Care about
so
people.
I was spoiled. I mean, I was completely spoiled.
Well,
And
you
then-
thought that was the level.
I mean,
right?
that was platinum
the bar.
for me. But then, as I branched out and got in as E5 I started seeing other admixtures, and I say, hey, that's another good one. Oh, that's another good one. Now, I can count on my hands maybe about how many good ones I've came across. But there are people out there that care. And that made the problems when we had them. Oh, we just all got together, boom, fixed it, moved on. And everybody was happy. The crews were happy, even though it was the same problem we had on another job with a different producer, and then went to hell in a handbasket because everybody's, well, it ain't my fault, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, where's my trucks? Well, you're pumping them off and you want 10-minute spacing. Okay. You pump it off in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
10-minute spacing, you're going to have 4-minute gap every time.
It's just being aware of your surroundings. And
if you had it at one truck there every 6 minutes, are you going to outrun your crew trying to place it too?
exactly.
So where's that balance? You got to order it instead of right off the get go and run with it. I've had.
Should we talk about the hot topic?
I've had this is a good example too. You know, a good 750-yard pour. Oh, I want to start out at 60, 80 an hour and then increase to 120. And it's like, no. We're going to have 4 trucks come through the door, get out ahead of your laser so that as you're working in that circle, and then when you get down the last 80 yards, that's when you're going to slow down, try to work your way out of the formwork.
And get out. Yep.
You know, I mean, we get done. It's like, oh, we're done 2 hours sooner than I thought we would be.
Yep.
Just listen to me. I'll help you.
Just trust me on this one.
Well, and you know, Steve, and I'm going to say it, you're a unicorn in the industry. You're a helpful person. You want to help people. That Chris Wolf's a unicorn. Jim Render's a unicorn. There's not a whole lot of people that have that mentality. Most of the technical guys that I've dealt with across the country, they got a mentality. Give me my PSI. Give me this. I'm going on. Those are the people who are running a corporate machine. Mm-hmm. So it's a breath of fresh air when I get to talk to Steve. I get to talk to certain people that really care about what they're doing. It's like, that's the way the industry I remember will always, how I was raised. Like, oh, they were just helpful. And I just don't like getting into those. And I think that's what finishers have done. They've got this opinion that you guys are against them all the time. And the reason why is because their experiences with the wrong person. So the ready mix companies are not evil. They just have certain people in the wrong position that should not be dealing with the customer.
Right.
End of story.
Yeah.
Should not be dealing
changing and adapting, mixed design timing, those things. Yeah.
You know, I don't know everything, self-taught.
None of us
do. We didn't go to school for this.
No. Well, you know, they only teach 1 hour of concrete to engineers, right?
To engineers, yeah. And, you know, then we're going to make it work for them. But it's probably the one thing that probably gets us over the edge more than everything is going back to caring about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm basically the keeper of the mixed designs,
Yes.
and most of them are mine and put together.
It's a lot of responsibility.
So I do take it a little personally.
Yes.
Yeah, something's
Yes.
wrong with this. It's like, is it really wrong with it? It's all good on paper.
Yeah.
But what's it doing in the field too? You know, I get stuck in the office now and then. I do have to get back out there and
see what's going on.
Grab a float and see what's going on here.
How's this feel?
Because some of the
I'm
going to say language barrier.
You grab a what? What'd you just say?
A float.
A float. Did you
did
hear
say
that?
float.
The technical guy.
Yes.
Float.
Like I got to touch it.
He actually touched it to know what we're saying. See, that's rarity. See, I said unicorn.
It is.
Because some of this, the way some guys will talk and try to explain some, there is a little bit of maybe some language barriers.
It's a vocabulary
or
disconnect.
vocabulary,
Yeah.
whether it be Amish,
Communication.
Hispanic, or whatever. It's like, you know, they call different things different. It was like when I first moved to Illinois, they're saying it's bony. It's like,
It's bony.
what the heck is
Yeah,
bony?
right.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh, it's stony, not bony. Okay, that makes a difference, you know.
Right.
But
But if you're not out in the field
it
experiencing that
took me about 6 months to figure that one out.
slang, bony and
But there is some slang in different industries, and I found that over the years too.
Right.
Different industries have different slang,
and you got to talk
different
to talk to
seasons.
understand each other. Yeah, I get you.
So that's what I say. Sometimes you just got to go feel it. Yeah.
So I'm
feel-
gonna take it back around to when we did our first bridge together with E5. When was it in the time period of the 5-6 years you've been dealing with? I thought, you know, this is a pretty good source of. This is a good solution for concrete. Or have you even determined that yet?
Yeah, you're assuming things.
I'm assuming because at the end of the day, not everybody believes it.
Some days it's like, is this working or not?
this snake oil?
What in the world is going on with this stuff?
Another day, so I can see it, but what's it doing? You know?
right. I get it.
Actually, it goes back probably a little further than that.
Really?
And you know, Chris is trying to get me in on
Right.
in the internal cure, and I think it was one winter. You know, trying to do a little research. And, you know, scanning through some different videos is like, and I think Dr. John had one. It's like, what's concrete going to look like in 10 years? I'm like, we've seen enough changes over, and
Right.
hey, this fly ash is going to be an issue. And then I think it wasn't much longer after I seen that, he came out with the liquid fly ash. I'm like, aha.
Which, note for the audience, it is not fly ash. It is a liquid nano suspension. We named it liquid fly ash to get everybody's attention. It's no different than liquid nail.
Liquid nails.
I mean, it doesn't have nails in it, and I don't have fly ash in it.
That's right.
Go ahead.
But we are dealing with a pure source of silica
Yes,
versus
we are.
a dirty silica.
That's right.
Yes.
And the other part to help lead into that too is the year prior to that, we were doing a paving job north of town here, or south of Fort Wayne anyway. We lost 6 paving days because of fly ash. We could not get fly ash.
Wow.
Whether it was hung up on the rail or there's all sorts of there's all sorts of excuses.
Now we're throwing other people under the bus.
Now we're doing it. Woo!
Yeah. Logistics plays a lot in this industry too.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that. They just think they pick up the phone. Hey,
and it's there.
And concrete shows up.
Yeah.
But there's a whole logistics behind the scenes that they don't see. And like, hey, if this liquid ash or
liquid fly
ash
the name
can replace the fly ash. And plus, then we got looking at, okay, if we had 1 tanker load of liquid ash is equal to probably about, what do we figure, 32 tanker loads of traditional ash.
fly ash, yeah.
Well, there's a trucking issue solved right there too.
Right.
Yeah, it's a whole logistics problem.
Another logistics problem gone.
Yep.
Solved our air problem. Dave was able to set it and forget it pretty much for the summer. We got into some temperature changes. Air changed a little bit, but throughout the heat of the summer, it's like we didn't even worry about air.
Interesting.
Yeah, gone.
We set it, keep on rolling.
So through those pain points,
so
you
that
started
got
saying,
but before we went that far, we was like, hey, we got this manure combination manure silage pit to do.
Oh yes.
It's like, hey, let's try it and see what it does.
Right.
Very caustic.
It's like low risk, but it's a nasty environment.
Correct. Let's really push this
Let's see what it really does here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you ever go back to that?
I went back 2 years after, and it was still the same as it was when the guys got done, because it was basically screeded. No, it's been longer than that. I bet it's been almost.
It's been 6 years. Our first tote of liquid.
Oh my gosh.
Our first tote of liquid fly ash went into that silage manure combination.
Yeah. 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't remember?
I was there. Yes, I flew the
you were
drone,
there
and
doing
I
the drone.
at the time.
Sorry.
He was?
Joel slept
Yeah,
a
I
little
was
bit.
there.
You were?
I was there. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah,
Got some
he
good
slept.
footage from it.
It was good.
But yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Many,
and
many
then
years.
then I think we had a ACI meeting with INDOT, and especially on these overlays when we were dealing with that 7-bag with 50 pounds of microsilica in it for overlays and on and on. It's like, this is just a recipe disaster, and we're not having success with it because everybody got rid of the slurry machines for the micro, and who's going to charge those anyways, and where are you going to have the right machine at the right place at the right time? So those kind of disappeared when the admix company said, well, we got dissolvable bags, you just throw it in and not have to worry about it, right?
Do they really dissolve?
Well,
sort of.
They're supposed to dissolve, right?
They sort of dissolve.
We could, if you got them to dissolve, then you had microballs. If you took care of the microballs, you had bag corners, and it's like it's one or the other, and we can never get it to where. Once in a while, it'd go right, but it wasn't very efficient.
It's another example of a chemical that works well in the lab, but doesn't play well.
At least the application of it.
And then when they had an issue, they wanted, you got to grind it and redo it instead of saying, okay, what's an acceptable amount? What's the fix for it? No, it's automatic. Oh, got to tear it out. It's like, well, this ain't worth the risk.
Nope.
So, I think
because the manufacturer of said product wouldn't necessarily back it up if those things happened in the mix.
It was more of a specification slash an expectation of what the owners were trying to expect. They they're expecting the bags to dissolve, like the manufacturer says, be nothing and everything be distributed perfect. It does that on paper.
Yeah.
But when you get in the real world and we're mixing and doing all this, man, microsilica is a water hog. And it likes water. So there ain't a lot of water going to dissolve all those bags all the time. So then to what Steve's saying, you get these little batch balls.
Right.
Well, you get a batch ball in the middle of the overlay. Well, they want the whole overlay taken apart, not just the little section.
No, I get it.
To where it's like, why don't you just chip it out and patch it
with
beyond?
a comparable material and move on.
It's just too big of a risk.
Yeah. Right. Doesn't this sound similar to another material that's just recently hit the market?
No, we don't know what you're talking about.
Right? Like if you look at it in parallel, right? These products come to market, these materials, and they're supposed to work in the lab, or they do work well in the lab, and then they get out in the field, and it doesn't work the same, and then the risk is put on whom?
Well, yeah. We're all caught in it. Yeah,
yeah, we're all caught.
Right?
We're guilty.
I mean, just like the microsilica bags, you know?
Well, I mean, they ended up having to, whether they had to eat the cost on that microsilica bag or was the contractor or whoever, because it goes back to here, let's pigeon everybody against each other. So the ready mix and contractors looking at each other. Well, you didn't mix it long
and
enough.
the guy selling the bags over here.
And he ain't getting the conversation.
Well, we were able to solve some of that through sequencing, getting the right sequence down and everything else, but you still had to handle that bag, and ready mix does not handle microsilica the way you need to handle it. It's like you lift it up with a forklift. Okay, which way is wind blowing? Let's stand up.
Do people really have masks on? You're right.
And then now with all these silica rules and everything else, it's like,
which is good.
We need to look at something different here. And when we were with INDOT at the time, it's like, what was the main purpose of an overlay? And he's like, well, it's a wear surface. Okay.
Yep.
It's a wear surface.
Why do we need 5,500 PSI?
It's like, okay, what's the parameters on this wear surface, and what do you want from it? I think we can do better. And that's when the wheels start thinking, it's like, hey, if we can combination of internal cure, the liquid ash, there's our pozzolanic reaction.
Right.
I think we can do better without having to deal with the issues that we're having with this other
challenges,
stuff. And we also, the other thing we kept having too is cracking. There was always, the mix itself was always a cracking nightmare. And as we've been on these decks or these overlays, we've seen the first few trucks, they're fresh, they're good, the strengths are up. But as we go along, things stack up a little bit. The strength would go down, but the cracking would disappear. Because those trucks are sitting back there tempering their loads. They're getting a little wetter, but the cracking would go away. So we didn't have that autogenous cracking going on because of the water to cement ratio that they were demanding. It was ridiculous in the first place.
Very low. Yes.
Way too low. So the ones that had the more water in it, the strength was lower, but the cracking wasn't there.
Yeah. So what do we want? Do we want strength or do we want less cracks? It sounds like the industry still wants PSI. But we want to complain about the cracks.
We want a wear surface, but we don't want any cracks in it because that's water intrusion to the steel. It's like, well, that's a whole different animal then. We're not. What is it? You want to protect the steel, or do you want a wear surface? We can't have both. Now, I think I can minimize the cracking. And that's where we started going with lowered the cement content, incorporated some fibers, the LFA and internal cure, and we solved a lot of those problems. Not 100% of them, but a lot of them.
Right. Well,
he's being modest because it's his idea.
I know it was.
Hey,
they designed
Indiana contractors, infrastructure contractors, you can thank Steve Crawford for the overlay mix.
Yes.
It's right there.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we called it the 580 Super Steve. Someone else changed it.
Well, and remind me, this was several years ago.
Well, yeah, this was 2021, 22.
Now, wasn't there some changes in how they prepared those overlays, right? Wasn't there grinding, and then there was water blasting, and then, I mean, there was even evolution of when you talked about the soil, understanding the soil all the way up with a pour. INDOT did the same thing with their bridge deck overlays, right? With kind of changing how that was profiled prior to the overlay. Wasn't there
No,
some
they
of
didn't-
that?
they didn't change that.
They changed the mechanical grooving after the fact.
Yeah,
That's-
that was
it
they went
was-
away from tining and they went to mechanical grooving.
Right. But
That
it
is
wasn't
a
the preparation.
whole-
Because they
that's
did the hydro.
No, the preparation.
hydro demo and all that's always been the same.
That's always
That's
been the
always
same.
been the same.
But I know there was some like thoughts of, hey, if we
that's getting
smooth
into-
this surface out before we overlay it, right? Because there was pits and
it's
valleys and mountains.
Yeah, you got to watch yourself walking across it because underneath that plastic,
Right.
you don't see that hole and you're stepping it and
Right.
twisting an ankle because you go from 2 inches to 4 to 6.
Exactly.
Right now.
Right.
And that's where some of that cracking would happen.
Right.
That's what I was getting
prior
to, right?
or I don't think nobody really did a good job. Somebody somewhere must have done it as far as mapping of cracks ahead of time. Somebody somewhere had to. I always thought, hey, if we wet the deck, let it dry out, and as it's drying out, we can drone shot the map,
the cracking existing
cracking, and then hey, after you put a new overlay in. Oh, it started cracking again. You probably could overlay that right over top of it, and it's the same doggone crack. So did we really solve anything?
Well, you get into reflective cracking because, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
so,
there's cracks already there.
It's already there.
So how can we bridge those gaps, those cracks?
When we add a little bit of the fibers, 3/4 inch, I think is what we're putting in. That kind of helped out a lot. So at the end of the day, the overlays got 10 times better. Now, the big controversy that we've always had in our state is wet cure better and all this other happy horse crap that they want to go through. White pig. Come on. But at the end of the day, I mean, I remember the state coming to me and asking me, say, can we go ahead and get rid of wet cure on the overlays? And I absolutely said no. The reason why I said no is because it wasn't about the water helping it cure. It was about the water controlling the temperature of the thickness of that overlay. I mean, if you go from a 1 inch, 3 inch, and this, you got different thermal properties. It goes back, hey, weather has an impact on this.
Yeah, the weather impact.
But the water needs to be on there to keep that temperature at a certain level. So the spots that were thinner versus deeper didn't have, it would gain that strength to overcome the stress.
Right.
That was the only reason a wet cure was there. Other than that, I wouldn't throw anything on it. Done, left and walked away. Because it would have been fine. It would have been no different. It was just there as a precautionary to control the temp, period. But that area, I mean, our overlays, they're awesome. Everybody's using them except for a few short
and so that's when you got into internal cure LFA is obviously the overlay mixes and things like that. And then that was 6 years ago-ish.
At least.
So going over,
and we started
6 years of history.
We were fortunate enough that, our contractor Dan had a relationship with the county, so we started at county level.
Yep. And then you just kind of boom, worked its way up.
It's like I think we probably got going into it before it even got approved,
Yes.
But ask for forgiveness later, right?
Well, if something's working, right, you can't disprove it,
right?
Well, they're the first ready mix companies that brought it to the Department of Transportation and did it. They're the what do you call the pioneers of bringing it in?
Yeah.
So, and Steve worked on all of us worked on a lot of different variations to get it tweaked right. And just as we was getting it tweaked right in 22, we had the shift. This new cement come in. Okay, things changed a little bit. But I will say he had it figured out way faster than anybody else.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
How did you have it figured out?
His engineering mind.
Which part?
The 1L.
No, I mean, yes, it's a broad classification.
Starting out, it was a little rough. It was probably rough for everybody, but I think a lot of it had to do with probably inconsistency in the manufacturing process more than anything.
There was inconsistency.
And we were farther down the line as far as, we didn't go to the plant to pick up the cement. It went to the silo, went to a rail car, went to rail car to the silo, back to truck to the silo again.
Right.
It's like
that's a lot of touches.
Anytime you handle aggregates, it separates out. Now you're dealing with two different weights of materials, and you start blowing it around. Is it separating out? Well, somebody will tell you, well, the electrical forces will keep it all in contact with each other. It's like, no, I think we're getting pockets of powder or limestone powder versus clinker.
We haven't talked about that.
And the way it's flowing through the plant, because we'd be going along, strengths are there, and boom, one would be way off, then right back up again. It's like, what the heck's going on here? It's like there's got to be some type of separation going on.
Would not have thought of that. The sieving.
Well, I mean, he just said it. Look how many times they touched it before it got to him.
Right. Yeah, because we have it comes into the terminal by rail, so it's handled
multiple dumpings, picking back up, dumping again.
Well, it's no different than the aggregates. You keep dumping it.
So you blow it up in a cylinder and everything falls out. What the heavier stuff's going to fall out faster than the lighter stuff. So was there pockets going on there? And nobody can confirm or deny that, of course.
And this was how long?
That was when the 1L started first come out.
Okay, about 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they got better. They added more equipment and all that fun stuff. But the best thing that probably ever happened was Mr. Nelson capping it at 10%.
I would
That
agree.
limestone,
I would
yeah.
agree
When
with
he
that.
capped that at 10% or no more than 10%, everything just kind of just
It
evened
settled
out.
down.
It settled
that
down.
right?
Yep. Yep. Everything settled down.
And that was just recently.
Almost a year ago.
Right.
A little over a year ago.
Right. I mean,
Over a
that
year ago.
in the time frame. Of
Well,
what
I
we're
mean,
talking
It's
about.
almost 2 years here, coming up in September. But
Okay.
and it's like we talked before. It's like anything, as long as it's in moderation. You start going too far. 2 beers okay.
Right.
12 probably not.
Probably
so much.
not so much. 15% limestone, probably like having a case of beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you keep everything in moderation, it's okay. We can deal with that. Now,
So the adjustment you feel was positive.
the
capping.
the cap was
Yeah.
positive because
Yeah.
then you didn't get these fluctuations that made them tighten up. And as the cement producers got more experience, they started looking more at, hey, what's happening in our 325 and they're trying to hit in that target so that it helped compensate for the finer fines, because everything got finer and
Right.
Thirstier.
try to keep
So
everything
when
going
you say
faster.
325 fines, explain that just a little bit.
It's more of
Is
the
it-
Blaine.
Okay.
The Blaine.
The Blaine
yeah,
fineness.
Yeah, Blaine fineness. Now we did have one deck. We did have a little experience some low strength. So the first thing I did was go back to our limestone pile. Well, yeah, the limestone quarry saying, hey, it's all in spec. We're at 1.8 on the 200 and below. Well, I'm taking it after it's been handled, into a stockpile, into a dump truck, pushed up into a stockpile again before it goes in the plant.
Right.
Take that sample, run the same thing again, and I'm up at 2.8 on our limestone fine. So I was talking to Mike. It's like,
Oh my
this is
gosh.
like dealing with an L17. And he's like, well, why are you looking at like that? It's
What's
like,
an L17 for those of us that are?
Well,
No, what he's saying, it's like having an
Like
L17
having
because
it, 'cause
you increased your fines
their
to
fines
almost a percent
in
over
the
what was
limestone
Okay.
plus the limestone in the cement, because you got 50 pounds of limestone
Right.
hanging out
So you
there.
have two variables with increased
Right.
fines.
Correct.
Yeah, where before we didn't see that because that's always been there, but we just added another 50 pounds to it, you know. So now it's like, are we going too far? Now it's not okay to have dirty aggregate, but we can have dirty cement. But that's a whole nother.
This guy. Uh-oh.
Oh,
I didn't say it,
Yeah, right. It's normally on this side of the table.
but I guarantee you I've thought it.
but
Yeah.
Oh, I've said it at
I've
some
had
point.
to deal with it. Yeah, we've had to deal with it. So it's like, okay, and then it goes back to, okay, all this water demand going on. How do we make the water more efficient? Because you get throwing more water at it wasn't working either. Because that's one of the things with the old admix is like, hey, we'd load them at a 5-inch slump and they leave the gate at a 3. You get to the job site and they're adding 40 gallons to it or more. And I seen that in our unit weights drop. So by changing up our admix package, we talked about this before,
Right.
where I got that unit weight to come back up. As long as we're hitting the 142, hey, I'm not worried about strength anymore.
No,
It's
I'm
there.
good.
I mean, we were getting down to the 137, 136s because two lightest things, air and water.
Right.
Yep.
And they sometimes travel together too.
Yep.
By controlling that and making everything a little more efficient, it helped a lot on our end.
On the fineness side of things.
Yeah,
Correct.
as far as dealing with all those fines. Little VMA helps a little bit. The internal cure, LFA, any
Right.
of those combinations help too. So those are tools in our toolbox that can help. With
Do
that.
you have much say? So you have a cement manufacturer, right? A cement rep that you work with. Do you have multiple, or do you just have the one?
We have multiple.
You have multiple. Do you have much say? Because you have multiple, obviously you can price shop, right? Do you have any other sort of, say in that quality, the percentage? I mean, do you go to that level of
Little old
discussion?
me, I don't have a PE or doctor.
Well, you have better than
but
a
I do
PE.
have a CDL. Yes.
Yeah,
You
you
have-
have,
right.
CDL.
But you have infield knowledge, which I think is sometimes.
Well,
better
that's the
than
piece overlooked. No
But
one
now we're
looks at the
dealing at a
infield
corporate
knowledge.
level where they're looking at dollars and cents.
I get it.
And
Nah, right there's the mistake.
Like when
There's-
when you start negotiating with multiple companies, multiple reps, I mean, is that something that you discuss with them to say, hey, what's I've seen this limestone content. I don't know if you can divulge this. We might have to fuzz you out for this conversation, but can you ask those questions to them?
You can ask. You could take it up the ladder, but it's probably only going to make it one or two rungs up.
Yeah,
okay.
You know what kind of answer you're going to get?
I'm just asking.
You should have cured it better.
I'm just asking for the people.
Yeah, you can ask for the people, but you quit skirting around the question. Just ask it.
No, I'm being politically correct here.
They already don't like me, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm looking out for Steve.
Well, we love Steve. They're not
absolutely.
Well, I poke at the salesman myself. It's like, hey, this is the biggest scam, or I shouldn't say scam.
Did you?
We're going to keep that.
That's edit
that one. The greatest marketing scheme worldwide.
Yes.
For what?
How do we increase production?
Correct.
Without increasing emissions. So therefore, you show a net
loss.
Net loss in your CO2.
Yeah. Or keep production levels the same, but increase quantity of our product, right?
Yeah, they increase volume without increasing emissions. So,
right.
So it's a net gain to them.
And that's kind of what you feel
it's
happened.
Well, it started with he said at the beginning, administrations, EPA.
Correct.
It all kind of started there, and whoever's in the office either is playing a greenwashing game or they're not. So it's one or the other, and we're at the mercy, me, down there at the level that's pouring concrete every day, just trying to make a living, are dealing with their political mess.
Right. You're trusting a group to provide solid product so that then it's consistent.
And they only want to make a product that is, first, how much margin we're going to make off of it. They don't. I can't say that they don't. I ain't even going to go there.
Yeah, we can't. We don't.
Whether that
they do.
I guess what I have the First Amendment, and it is my opinion that they don't care. It's just about
there's
the money.
Hundreds of thousands of people in that industry. People care in the industry.
Show me. Proof's in the pudding, like they always tell me with E5. Proof's in the pudding. Well, okay, proof's in the pudding. Show me you care. Give me a
gauntlet.
Give me a $50 million research program to teach finishers how to finish your product.
Well, that's actually a great idea. Yeah,
because everybody's asking. You make that payable to Joe.
Everybody's asking, how do we finish these new cements? I mean,
that's all we hear.
And like we talked about before, there's no blanket statement. There's no blanket fix for any of you. You can't tell a finisher in Oregon versus a finisher in Florida, this is what you do. This is how you have to time it. No, I mean, it's all touch and feel. It's like when you grab the float and you go out in the field, and I just have to feel it.
Yeah, we right now we have a group of guys from Texas up by the state line at a campground putting in a splash park or whatever at the campground. Believe it or not, the night before they got the sprinklers out, letting their subgrade down.
Oh my, that is awesome. That is beautiful.
And after they're done pouring for the day, they put the sprinklers on the concrete again. It's like, and they're like, "This is the best concrete we've had in a long time up here," and they're using a 3500 mix.
Oh wow!
I'm like, okay.
Oh wow.
Now,
so not much cement in that one.
Well, the whole thing, boys.
See,
preparation.
They're going in preparation, and they're using the best practices that have always been there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's nothing new.
Right.
There's nothing new.
Speed and construction schedule.
It's just that there's some stuff that's been forgot or diluted along the way.
Schedules don't allow.
Profit
margins don't allow.
Right.
It all
crew numbers
faster, faster. Well, you sacrifice something when you go faster.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we need to slow down a little bit. But even your smaller guy, he doesn't know about all this stuff.
Nope.
And does he?
That's why you listen to podcasts.
Does he try to learn it? Some do, some don't.
Some do, some don't.
I got a couple guys that do. They do a lot of podcasts, but then there's so much information out there. What can you sort that's truth from fiction? I mean, that's a hard thing to learn too. Sometimes
it is. What's actually?
I'm actually shocked.
If it's on the internet, it's got to be true, right?
I'm
actually shocked that the people that are doing the work every day in the field, from finishers to quality control to ready mix, they literally take advice from people that don't finish. It's like me taking advice from Oprah Winfrey that never had kids. They tell me how to raise my kids. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
So why am I listening to a guy that's in a research lab that got all this stuff, and I'm going?
Now, I think since the advent of social media, as we've seen, Mr. White Hat Guy, people are taking note from TikTok.
Oh, maybe.
Following, what's the Tiger guy?
Oh, Tiger guy?
Let's give a shout out.
He's funny. He cracks me up.
I mean, there are some people out there that are speaking truth, right? And
he is.
And I mean, those are kind of the folks that I want to follow.
At the end of the
day,
if I need advice, I'm gonna go to a concrete guy, like a guy that's actually like in the fight with the concrete. I'm not gonna go to a white paper. It says, well, here's all the hydration. I get that. You need that to understand it.
Correct.
But it's not going to tell me what I need to do with the material in the field when it's 90 degrees and evaporation rate is 0.17.
Yeah, that's where a good QC
it's not going to tell me nothing.
Play.
But I want to go, hey, Steve, you got anything kind of control this evaporation rate? What is in your best experience over 30 years? Like, what would you do?
Yeah. Maybe you need to pour at 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
There you go.
Yeah.
White papers don't tell you that. I'm not on PhDs. I love PhDs. I get a lot of information, and I love working with them. But our industry has got so indoctrinated with it. Like, oh, we got to do it this way. No.
Certain pockets of the industry, right? The folks,
well, I should say it's the elites. It's the little group of the elites that run around this country, and they're trying to influence things from that down, and it's actually becoming detrimental to our industry.
And it's also, let's give respect to the people that have to follow the letter of the law, like the engineers and architects, right? That have the risk and liability forced on them via specifications.
Well, now we're going to shove that conversation. Risk.
Okay.
Well, you're opening up a can of worms.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So an architect tells you where to put their saw cuts, but if it cracks in between, whose
it's your problem.
responsibility it is?
Nah. See, there it goes.
See
back
what I
to
do
the
here?
kid
This is my
analogy.
job. This is my job.
There goes the kid analogy again.
Yes.
But
Hey, I've got 3 kids, but I'm going to go take advice from no one's never had it. Well, that don't make sense.
And then it's going to be your fault.
we have identified with some of the home builders and subs that, hey, we've learned a lot over the last 4 years. They haven't changed. We've seen that. They're still doing it the same way. We've been doing the same thing the last 20, since they were 14 or whatever it may
Right.
be, 20 years plus. They're doing it the same way. Well, we've seen our goalposts kind of move a little closer together. So we've talked with the home builders, like, hey, let's bring your superintendents in, or superintendents from all the home builders in, and say, oh, okay, let's equip you guys
That's good.
with, say, the CIPs and stuff like that, so that, hey, you know what you're looking for in the field.
Yeah.
They're just trying to slam out homes as fast as they can.
Right.
They're not watching over
Quality control.
No.
Product.
The guy slapping their slabs and driveways, and then they get hit after the fact by a homeowner. Say, hey, what's wrong with my driveway? And they're like deer in the headlights.
And a little bit of education goes a long way.
Even if we equip them with a CIP, that they can, okay, here it is. Boom, this is what's going on. Or, hey, this is what happened. Oh, maybe I should be watching out for my subs, make sure they're doing this properly in the first place.
Yeah.
That would be one conversation to have. The second conversation would be actually having the subs themselves come in and say, hey, things have changed. You guys need to change a little bit too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can't fix the industry with people that nobody sees that they're wrong or don't want to change. Finishers, aggregates, admixtures, cement, ready mix, engineers, architects, the whole hub has to be willing to listen to each other for everybody to get better. But you always got these ones positioning themselves that we don't do anything wrong ever. It's great. And a lot of it is because they don't want a lot of risk. There's a lot of risk in this game, a lot of risk. And a cement industry ain't going to say that, hey, we shouldn't have shoved this out too early, because look at the massive failures that are running around. That's a lot of risk. That's a lot
like we talked about last podcast. Right. There's no recall that's going to happen.
I'm going to bring this up. Back in November of last year, we decided to do the concrete crisis. Only a couple people wanted that challenge. Steve was one of them.
He was.
And
said, okay.
he took it on. He didn't have nothing to hide. We're going to figure this out. We came out. We did it. We executed. And we all tried to do different times and everything. And now we got data now to substantiate kind of what we did.
Yeah, it was
but
great.
at the end of the day,
Same as.
It takes individuals like him willing to go, let's just figure this out. I'm not trying to advert risk or anything. Let's figure this out, because you have to figure that out for the betterment now. At the end of the day, concrete crisis is about protecting the taxpayers of Indiana.
And the taxpayers in general in the United States.
Because I'm a taxpayer.
Yep.
Steve's a taxpayer. You're a taxpayer. And when I'm standing on that bridge and I see all these things, and I'm going, they're just doing frivolous stuff. That's spending a lot of money. That's my money just as much as it is anybody else standing out there.
Redoing.
So that was a very good event to show a lot of things. But I want to thank you personally for doing that. Kudos to you for stepping up.
Yeah.
So,
because some ready mix producers that we initially contracted to do
they ran like
did not want to do it and
ran like the bandits.
Yeah, right. And I mean that.
Hey, I question when you don't want to be under the microscope. I question.
Absolutely.
Like, why don't you want to be under scrutiny?
Yeah.
I don't mind being under scrutiny. I've been under scrutiny for my whole life. I mean, that's the only way you're going to get better.
Head to head. Yeah, figure this stuff out for the betterment of the industry.
Yeah, especially if we could do it in an area that it don't matter what the outcome is.
Exactly.
It's not a risk to the taxpayer for one.
Absolutely.
Or anything like that. I mean, that's one of the areas where I've learned some stuff is,
valuable.
Farmer says, hey, what's the cost of concrete? It says, does it matter if it's the same mix for all 9 loads? Cows don't care.
No, cows don't.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I put 9 different loads. I'm testing 9 different trucks, and it's like,
we're good to go.
I got something I can see, feel,
Absolutely,
and data to back it up. It's like what worked, what didn't work.
That's interesting. Do you think a lot of ready mix folks take advantage of things like that? Like
Probably
if you've
not.
got a project to say it doesn't matter what the mix design is, let's test these things.
Well, first
Probably
of all,
not.
Let's divide that. What size of ready mix company? Because if it's a big one, you can forget it.
Now they're doing stuff in the lab.
Yeah, they're going to do it there. Stop because it's all about money and margin.
You could do labcrete to a certain extent.
Right.
Kind of give you a little baseline maybe to go off, but it's that real crete that's really going to tell you what it is.
There
what's
you
going
go.
to do because
Field crete.
the mixing action is way different than you can't replicate it because especially with the polys, that energy that's put in there can determine your slumps.
Polycarboxylates?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yep. Because you can actually change and manipulate that slump by just how you turn that barrel.
Is that
Absolutely.
right?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And folks in the field wouldn't know that.
No.
Per se.
No, and I'm trying to get the
They
drivers
just
to
want
know
him
that.
to deliver.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They just want him to deliver the concrete. They want to pour it and finish it, go home.
Yeah.
A finisher technically should never worry about that stuff.
No.
But we've
Right.
had to because of the corporate industry sizes shove this down that finishers can't. They need to protect
can't
themselves
push back
from
or
what they're
whatever, yeah.
pushing down because they just keep shoving that risk down here to this guy, and this guy's going, "What in the world is going on?" And then when they come and ask people like me, and you try to explain it, they're like, "What are you talking about? Yeah. You need to start learning more about your materials. You need to learn the material dealing with. Carpenters can look at a piece of wood and go, I ain't using that.
Good.
Or a carpenter will go, that's good wood. We're putting it up. It's going to be there for a long time. I think concrete finishers should do the same thing.
You brought up that point, I think, the other day about recording the sounds of concrete.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
I could hear it as soon as
Coming down
my
the
back
chute.
could be walking away. I could hear that shoot, and it'd be like,
Bony, stony.
man, that don't sound right.
It's Illinois bony.
Yeah, bony. Like, that ain't working. And I guarantee he does the same thing. When it rolls down that chute, he can tell. It's like,
You don't even have to see it, probably.
Run it back. Yep.
yeah, absolutely. There's just a sound to it. It's like, yep, run it. That ain't, that's not working.
And most people will probably look at a TDS sheet and see the mixing speed versus what driving speed or whatever else.
Yeah.
But they don't think about the volatility of the mix based on the speed of those fins mixing the
Or
admixture.
how dirty or clean that barrel is. You can tell a dirty barrel by how it comes out the load. Comes
Is that
out.
right?
Oh yeah.
I'm learning a lot today.
Yeah, it's experience, I guess. Not that I'm old, but
No, of course.
I'm experienced now.
Seasoned.
It was, which is funny when we used to go to, a couple of MPCA shows and stuff like that. You look out and you see all these older guys that, they started the industries as far as precast goes, because that there wasn't any before them. They started it, and now the kids are taking over, and it's like
60s,
there's this
70s,
age group of 60s and then 30s and then 20s.
Which are dwindling.
Which now it's kind of interesting to see that now it's more blended now.
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting seeing that happen.
So as we get ready to wrap up, I got a few questions. Last few minute questions. What has been your favorite project in your career? I'll say one that's challenged you, pushed you.
You felt the most fulfilled.
But
like this,
it was your favorite.
really
Like, I'm glad I did.
hang my hat on this one.
I'd say it would be actually it was one windmill project that actually became 2 windmill projects. And what made that interesting was one trying to kind of backwards engineer it to make sure, hey, I could get this to fit within the price point, but yet still give us the strengths that we needed. And it was 5,000 and a 7,000 PSI mix.
Okay.
Wow. And the 7,000 was there and trained too.
Oh,
for the pedestals.
Challenge.
Challenge. And then with what materials that were available at to hit those price points.
Yeah.
And still be able to be profitable, you know. And so that's what goes back to the Labcrete stuff. It's like, hey, okay, we're trying to blend the materials, but hey, guess what? The floors weren't washed at the time. So it's like, man, my water demand on this is set X. Well, once we got into production, hey, that material was now being washed because we're producing for us.
A little adjustment.
It's like, ooh, back that juice down because now the drivers can't handle it, and it's being more effective then.
That's cool.
The other thing that was nice about that was that we were challenged that, hey, we have 2 favorite producers, and you're gonna be hard pressed to knock one of them off. So, challenge
accepted.
All right. And they were a good group of guys to work with. You know, it was a communication back and forth, and you know, and everybody, you know, we had little challenges along the way too. You know, challenging each other.
Oh yeah.
And you know, got to where you're knocking 1,400 yards out, no problem.
Wow.
You know, 100,000 yards in 9 months.
Jeez.
They took a break over the winter months, and this other project started up. Well, another producer had it, and they were stepping on it big time. I mean, they took 2 weeks to do 4 bases.
Oh my.
So they invited us in and said, "Hey, we need help. We got to hit these deadlines. Can you help us out?" It's like, yeah, we'll be willing to help you out. If they get their stuff together, fine, no big deal. If not, we'll just keep on running. They do theirs, we do ours, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice challenge.
Yeah. So we started, I think, on that was a Wednesday. We started on a Monday. Before the end of the week, they say, you got the rest of it.
Nice.
There's another 30,000 yards dropping your lap over the winter.
All right.
It's like, crap.
Winner.
I thought we were going to have an easy winter.
Well, you know, it's good for the business though.
And then we finished up that. Then we went back into the other one again. So,
Okay.
you know, it was the one led to the other. And then that relationship with the one ended up with another 14,000 yards over a winter job in a factory. You know, we're ripping out a factory floor and putting it back in.
Yes.
So,
Taking care of the customer.
it's there's good people out there, you know.
Absolutely.
And if you work with them, it turns out great. I mean, the first one, they were impressed with us. We drove out to Altoona, Pennsylvania to watch them do a pour at night. You know, it's one thing what challenges are they seeing in the field?
Right.
They had a different set of challenges up there in the mountains. They had a guy changing tires.
Oh my.
Because that blast rock, they were blowing tires left and right, going in and out. It's like, dang.
Goodness. Wow. Couldn't
That's something we never left. We didn't have to deal with that, you know, being in Ohio and Indiana, you know, in the swamp, you know, we had a different set of
We had to deal
problems.
with clay.
Yeah, we had a different set of problems.
alligators and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Last question. One word to describe the concrete industry.
Oh shoot, that's 2 words.
We might have to bleep that out.
Yeah, we're going to bleep that one out.
Dumpster fire?
Well,
2 words.
Yes.
2 words, but
It's hyphenated.
we'll take it that. Hey, audience.
Well, before we go though, I do need to ask
yeah.
Steve about your shirt.
Oh,
Your
sure.
The dirt near me.
Dirt near me.
Dirt near me. Yeah,
Dirt
tell
near
us
me.
about that.
It's an app that my son and a couple of his buddies kind of developed where he's in excavating, so he's always looking at import on dirt.
And when you say export import, we're not like going to
you
Japan
might
and
have
getting
cuts or you got fills, you know.
I got you.
You know,
Yes.
depending on hey,
Yes.
if I remove all this, where's it going to go?
Right.
Or hey, I need some dirt to bring in to fill. So it maps everything out instead of trying to go on Facebook Marketplace trying to find out who wants dirt or where can I get dirt. You know, you could open up this app and it's mapped out for you.
Very cool.
Where's your job at? Within that too, they tell you, hey, what quantities they have or need, and what type of soils and so on and so forth. And he's won a few jobs because of that.
Oh, very cool.
And actually,
so that's an app that you can download from the App Store.
You can download on the App Store.
It's called Dirt Near Me.
Called Dirt Near Me.
And that's the icon. Okay.
Nice.
Very cool.
And actually down in Ingalls here, he's done that apartment complex there, that big mountain of dirt there.
Yeah.
Somebody's exporting it.
Got
right
rid
now.
of it.
I'll be darned.
Fantastic.
Well,
Love when technology works.
Steve, I'm going to go ahead and do something. They can edit it out or not. But if you're in the Fort Wayne area, the northwestern area, I believe I got that geographical area right for Speedway.
Northeast.
Northeast
Sorry.
Indiana.
Northeast
Not northwest.
Indiana.
That's a whole different
Yeah, we don't
part of
go
the
over that
country.
side.
We don't get that.
So in the northeast side of our state, up north in the Fort Wayne area, they are what I would consider the E5 nanosilica experts in that area when it comes to ready mix.
A+ rating. Ready mix
Feel
facility.
free to call Steve Crawford anytime. He was what I consider an E5 expert. He's been with me for almost 6 years since the beginning of this, since we started the internal cure in LFA. I would choose you to take advantage of his wisdom, his knowledge, because there's not many years left of these type of individuals that are going to be around.
Yeah.
So take advantage of it.
Yep.
And I thank you for listening. Stay tuned to the next one.
Thanks for being here, Steve.
We're out.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.